All right, gentlemen. Well, we finally made it. It is the Stanley Cup Final, and this is our series preview here on the fourth period. That's David Pagnotta. This is Dennis Bernstein. I'm Irfaan Gaffar with the fourth period, and our coverage, our Stanley Cup Final coverage here from Vegas, starting in Vegas, is presented by Bodog.
When it feels like all that's left is work hard, it's time to play again. Easily find your next favorite game with Bodog. Free casino games, poker tips, and sports odds. Make a play.
All right, DB, let's jump right into it. The Vegas Golden Knights, they won their division. In my opinion, they were pretty underrated all season long, even though they won the division. What do you make of them heading into the Stanley Cup Final?
Well, they are the betting favorite, Irf. And I get the sense in talking to these guys today at Media Day, they don't really feel the pressure. And it's the second time in 6 years that they've made a cup final. Certainly Bill Foley, the owner, wants to win and is pressing this team to win. But I think having the presence of guys like Alec Martinez and Jonathan Quick, guys who have won the cup before, has really calmed down this team. And they've had some rest, Dave. So it's not like they are playing a back-to-back game or anything like that. But I just get the sense that they're very comfortable. They feel if they've played their game, they are the better team, and they can go on and win the cup.
For the Florida Panthers, it's time to finally put some damn respect on their name. They're here. They made it. They are in the Cup Final.
Yeah, without question. I mean, this is a team that a lot of people going into the playoffs wrote off, myself included. I had them at the final going in to the start of the season. But the way that this team performed, Sam Bennett mentioned this today, that their last 10 games of the season, even though he missed it, that was the healthiest this team had been all season. And then getting into the postseason, that was the full crew now together, and we're seeing what they're capable of. The depth of the Florida Panthers is significant, and when you've got Sergei Bobrovsky playing like Vezina Bob, I mean, it's a great recipe for success. Now, they had a long break, and the players acknowledged that, look, after they won the last series, they took a couple of games off, but then they went back at it full steam in practice before coming here to Vegas. The Golden Knights took a couple days off as well, but we're back on the ice Wednesday, back on the ice Thursday, and today. So both teams going into this one seemingly ready to roll.
DB, tons of very good storylines as we head into this Stanley Cup Final. What are some of the matchups, or what's one of the matchups that you like the most?
The one I like the best, Irf, is a battle of first-timers. Jack Eichel, first time in a Cup Final, against Aaron Ekblad. They're going to see a lot of each other. They're going to be sick of each other. Not even by Game 4. Probably by Game 2, they're going to be sick of each other. So I'm really eager to see how these guys perform first time in a Cup Final.
Yeah, for me, there's a couple different battles here, but one of them, the physicality that the Florida Panthers bring, is something that, for the most part, Vegas hadn't really handled. Maybe more so Edmonton versus Dallas, which is something that Nick Hag actually acknowledged. But him, along with the rest of that decor, going up against the physicality of the forward group of the Florida Panthers, that's a big matchup for me. That's what I want to see go down, because we know that Florida's going to crash the crease. We know they're going to try to get in Aiden Hill's face. But that big defense of the Vegas Golden Knights is going to play such a big factor here. And when you've got guys like Pietrangelo, like Alec Martinez that have rings, they're going to be leaned on to help get this team ahead from the back end out. And Ivan Barbashev, by the way, telling me they can be as physical as they want. I'm just going to give it right back.
Yeah, well, I think that's the main thing. Like this is going to be a physical series. It's going to be a fast series. And another matchup, and one of them that I like the most, is you have two coaches, Paul Maurice and Bruce Cassidy, who were hired a week apart, basically, less than a year later. Both their teams, Dennis, are in the Stanley Cup Final. What'd you make of the job that Bruce Cassidy's done with his group here?
Well, maybe retreads aren't a bad thing. Maybe you should put them on your car if you got a flat tire. Because these two retreads did a great job. Bruce Cassidy played to this team's strength in the playoffs. You know what that is? Dave mentioned it. Their depth. He rolls four lines. He doesn't play 27 minutes a night and need his forwards like Connor McDavid or Leon Draisaitl. They play maybe 20 minutes a night. His defense, Pietrangelo is not out there for half the game. He's out there for 22 to 24 minutes a night. I love what he's leaned into his depth. That's part of the reason they're here, as well as Aiden Hill has been fantastic. But I just love the way Bruce has really handled his depth, and it's got him to this point.
From Maurice's perspective, Bennett and a few of the other guys also acknowledging Carter Verhaeghe as well, that shift towards the end of March where he went off on his team publicly, he also went off on them in the room as well. He doesn't do that often, but it helped, and they acknowledged it. They needed a kick in the pants. They got it, they've acknowledged it, they've embraced it, and that coaching style, you've got to read the room, but it works with this group. Two
great coaches, two great teams, two great dudes right here. Dennis, let's get to your series prediction here for the Cup Final.
You know what I don't want, I don't want one team a sweep on one side and 3-0 on the other side. There was a little drama in the Western Conference Final because Dallas won 2. Vegas is the better team. Right? That's pound for pound. player 1 through player 20. They are the better team. I like them in 6. Would I be shocked if Florida won? I would not. But I just think the depth that we mentioned on Vegas will see them through, and they will raise the trophy probably in Sunrise. I think Vegas in 6.
I think this one's also going 6, but I'm liking the depth of the Florida Panthers and the momentum, the Cinderella story, if you want, kind of, I guess, rolling out for the Florida Panthers in this one. With Bob playing the way that he has, unless Barbashev and some of the other guys can get really under the skin and get him off his game, I'm going Oppo. I'm going Florida Panthers in 6.
I just want everyone to go on over to thefourthperiod.com and go to our season predictions. I had the Florida Panthers winning the Stanley Cup over the Calgary Flames, yes. So I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to bet, as we are here in Vegas, on the Florida Panthers to win the Stanley Cup. And Dave, I do like it in 6 games as well. Our coverage will continue throughout this postseason and then throughout the Stanley Cup final. That's David. It's Dennis. I'm Irf. And this is the Fourth Period coverage here of the Stanley Cup Final, presented to you by Bodog.